Hey everybody, I'm Brett. Today we're going to be talking about a lick that is a combination of alternate picking and economy picking. If you're confused on either one of those terms, alternate picking is just the act of playing down, up, down, up, down, up, consistently on the strings. Economy picking is, I guess the shortest definition would be playing from a rest stroke. And a rest stroke is when you play a string and the pick rests on the next one down. So I play the 6th string, the pick rests on the 5th string. So the act of economy picking would be picking through that 5th string also. Not too bad. It's one of those things that sounds a lot more sort of mysterious than it is. And sometimes people call it sweep picking. In my mind, that's more when you're going across a bunch of strings. Economy picking seems to be more like when you're going across maybe just 1 or 2 strings. So what we're going to do is I'm going to break the lick up into little pieces. Maybe I'll play it slowly for you a couple times so you can kind of see what's going on. And then we'll break it up into little pieces and we'll go over those and see kind of how they fit together so we can see the repeating pattern that is propagating through this E minor scale. By the way, this lick is sort of in the style of Shawn Lane, and what sort of inspired this was a video series by a guy named Grady called Cracking the Code. If you haven't seen that yet, Cracking the Code by Grady, definitely go watch it. It's awesome, very entertaining, very enlightening. I'll put a link to that in the description. So without further ado, here's the lick slow. Do that one more time. Before we actually get into learning the lick and learning all the technical stuff that goes along with it, we need to learn the scale pattern. So this is the key of E minor, and a proper E minor scale would start and end on E, whether going up, ascending, or descending, right? For instance, E, ascending, or descending. However, in this case, we're just simply working with notes from the key of E. We're not starting with E, we're ending on E, but the shape conveniently will end on a D note, that 10th fret D note. So really, we could call this a D Mixolydian scale. I'm not going to go into the sort of intricacies of that right now. Maybe in a different video we'll talk about modes. E minor itself is actually a mode of the G major scale. If your mind is blowing up right now, don't worry about it. I'll walk you through it soon enough, or there are a lot of actually resources online where you can find that kind of thing. So without further ado, here's the E minor shape that I'm working with. All right, starting with the 1st string, going to the 6th. For those of you whose brains work better the other way, let's go from low to high this time. We're going to have 3 of the same shape, we're going to have 2 of a different shape, and then we're going to have 1 of a 3rd shape. So here we go. You'll hear me call those shape 1, 3 shape 1s, and then 2 what I call shape 2s. But we got to jump up a string because of that thing between the 3rd and 2nd strings. And then finally, what I call a shape 3 here at the 1st string. So one more time, 3 shape 1s. Starting from the 10th fret. A shape 2 at the 11th fret. Shape 2 at the 12th fret. And then a shape 3 again at the 12th fret. And of course, we could keep going up the guitar, but the lick doesn't go up there, so we're not going to do it. All right, so now that we know the shape, hopefully you go and you commit that shape to memory. get it underneath your fingers, and really be able to visualize it on the guitar neck. By the way, the tab for this lesson is going to be linked below in the description, as well as a little figure sort of depicting the shape of that scale. In my opinion, it's a lot easier to learn scales pictorially off of something that looks more like a chord diagram than it is off of tablature, because tablature just, I don't know, man, it looks like just a big sea of numbers sometimes. And you know, when you're learning licks from tablature, it helps to have a video like this to kind of help go along. So here's the pattern we're looking at, and I've divided each little repetition of this pattern up into two, what we call chunks. So we're going to start on a downstroke on the first string, first finger here at the 12th fret, and we're going to play these 4 notes that go. So that's down, up, down, up. It's really important that you finish with an upstroke, and that you keep the pick sort of slanting down towards the floor. Like if you're looking at the string as an axis, we're rotating forward about that axis a little bit, and then I kind of tilt the pick forward a little bit and play with the edge of the pick. And again, if you look at that series from Troy Grady, you will see maybe a little more in-depth explanation of that. So without further ado, here's the next part. We had the first chunk. The next one is going to start on the 15th fret, the pinky note of the 2nd string, and we're going to play that note, and we're going to rest the pick on the 1st string. Play the 2nd, rest the pick on the 1st. All right, so the next note is going to be this 14th fret note here. We're going to play that with that continued downstroke. And then we're going to play an upstroke back on the note we started with. The first little chunk, the 2nd chunk. Well, we need to add one more note to that. Downstroke right there, and another note too, my bad. Upstroke here at the 13th fret. So we have a 4-note chunk and a 5-note chunk. 4, 5. And again, if you keep the pick slanted down, the 2nd string notes will be really easy to hit, because you will have come off of the 1st string in such a way that makes it very easy to come down on the 2nd string. Okay, so here are all 5 chunks, nice and slow. Now the next one starts on the same string we just finished on. Here they are again, a little faster. Here they are, kind of slow without the gaps. Now, the economy pick notes will play a little bit faster so that this we're able to fit this in time, because it's a kind of a goofy number of notes. We really would like things to be in groups of 8 or 6, or, you know, numbers that fit into measures a little bit better. So because we've got, what do we have? We had a 4 and a 5, right? We got a 9-note grouping. A couple of those we're going to speed up a little bit so they kind of equal 1/8 or 1/16 note, whatever division you're looking at, depending on how blindingly fast you're playing the guitar. All right, go again, goofing up. 2, 3. Okay, so I want to talk gear. I want to talk gear. I'm playing an American Standard Stratocaster that's got a bunch of aftermarket stuff on it. I've got a Callahan hardware, and I've got some hand-wound pickups in here. And I'm playing through a Mesa Boogie Mark V combo, courtesy of Crazy Dave's Music in Orange Park, Florida. Those guys have been gracious enough to let us use this amp to record this lesson with. And it's unfortunate that I have played through it because now I have to have one. And I will soon, but mine will probably be black, even though this is freaking gorgeous. If you guys have any questions about anything I've covered, feel free to post a comment, or if you want to just send me a message directly. I'd be more than happy to help you out with any of this stuff. Again, I'd like to thank Crazy Dave's over in Orange Park, Florida, for providing us with this awesome Mark V to do this lesson with. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, feel free to comment and all that business, and appreciate you watching. Thanks.